Hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to update you on what's been going on. It's been a long time. Yes, I know, but I've been busy and a lot's been happening. So stick around, pull up a chair, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want, and we'll get into it here. So a brief recap for those of you who don't know who I am. I am Yasmine Galenorn, New York Times, Publishers Weekly, and USA Today best-selling author. I've been in the business since 1996, so 28 years, and I was with traditional publishing for 20 of those years, and the past 8 years I have been indie and planning to continue that way. And if you hear my texts going off, ignore them. Um, Yeah, so I make videos on writing, on chronic illness, on my books. Sometimes I just ramble. And today I will probably be doing a little bit of everything. As you notice, I have a bandage that I have wrapped on my hand. It's a makeshift splint because my thumb is doing a few weird things. Nothing too out of the ordinary, considering I've got tendonitis. And so it hurts kind of. The rest don't at this point. So I just made myself a makeshift splint to keep it from bending, which is the problem. And I can still type. So what's been going on? Last year, I realized romantasy and straight paranormal romance are not the genres for me to write. um, it's not that I don't like them. It's not that I don't read them. It's that I'm not comfortable writing them. And that's because I am who I am in my comfort zone. I realized is urban fantasy with romantic elements and paranormal women's fiction. And those two things I love and excel at. So I'm going back to them and focusing on those. And I've started a new urban fantasy series for those who don't know. The Shadow Blade series, 2 books are out in it so far, and people are really enjoying them. I've heard a lot of comments to the tune of Yasmine's back. And when I finally got curious enough to ask what that meant, I got the answer that we feel your excitement in these books. We feel you in these books more. And I realized that's because I love writing them more. My comfort zone are those two genres. And it's not just a comfort zone, it's what I do best. But I needed to step outside that comfort zone to figure out whether I really did need to change genres or not. Now, financially, it makes sense to change genres, but not at the expense of my happiness as a writer and my readers' comfort with my writing, with what I write. That's not to say that those two series, the Winter Spell trilogy and the Starlight Hollow series, didn't sell at all, but it went down. And I think that's because I wasn't as present when I was writing. I don't know if that makes any sense, but my joy and my excitement were there, but they were tempered. With the Shadow Blade series, I'm thrilled. I'm happy to be writing it again. And I think that's what people feel. I made a decision. I already had the Mounjaro Bay series and Whisper Hollow and Terramouth Lake in the same world. My new series, Married at First Bite, is going to be in that world. It is in that world. And there will probably be a 5th series that will go into that world. They're all in the same world, same time frame, generally. So there will be a lot of crossovers. Now, I've been condensing my series Bibles for those series into one. So I've been doing a lot of extra work. I made a map of where my fictional shadow towns are in relation with each other, and I will link to that. I've got it on my website now so that people can see where Whisper Hollow is and where Mounjaro Bay is in relation to that, and Lake Tarameth, and now Midnight Point. And there will eventually be one called Crescent Falls. So I'm not sure when that will come out, but it'll be later. I will be doing a lot of crossover work, not just with characters, but with mentions and the magical system and the creatures all sort of fit together in this massive world. And I do call it my Shadow Towns world because they are all shadow towns, and that's what brings them together. I'm hoping my readers will really enjoy it and find it easy to go from one series to the other to another, all set within that same framework. So, to answer a couple of questions that I've been asked, yes, there will be at least one more Mounjaro Bay book. In fact, it is up for pre-order now. It is a crossover with Whisper Hollow. It is set in Mounjaro Bay, but you will see a massive crossover in the plot and with some of the characters coming over from Whisper Hollow. As to more Whisper Hollow books, I do intend that. I am starting to push on getting my rights back from the UK. That's the only place that has the rights to that world besides the ones I own, except they have 20 territories throughout the world that I cannot sell my Whisper Hollow books in, at least the first two. So I can't put out the revised books or promote the books in any of those territories, which includes the United Kingdom, where a number of my readers are. And it's frustrating. And that's one reason I haven't written more in that series, is because it's really difficult to promote when I don't control the first two books in those countries. Anyway, so Whisper Hollow, Mounjaro Bay crossover. Married at First Bite takes place in a small town called Midnight Point. The first book is out for pre-order, Haunted Eclipse. And again, you will see crossovers in this series. I have recovered, as in put new covers on, the first two books in the Magic Happens series. Now, one of the reasons that I wasn't writing on that is it didn't feel accurate. Not the books. I enjoyed writing the books, but the covers did not fit the books. The covers are cozy covers. I made a mistake on choosing those for the first two books, and my mind didn't process the connection because I'm a very visual person. So I finally broke down. I bought new covers for that series. I have put the first two new covers on those two books, and it fits so much better. So I will be writing more of Marquette's adventures. I don't know how many of each of these books I'll be writing per year, because there are now 4 series in one world, but we'll see how it goes. If the Mounjaro Bay series book, if Feathered Web sells really well, I will write more from January's point of view. I do like January. But yes, I will be writing more Marquette and more Karis. And of course, my main character, Maisie, in Married at First Bite, she will have a number of books. So you will have one huge playground to dart around in, and you don't have to read one series to read the other series. You don't have to, there's no order for these series that you really have to read them in. But yeah, that's one big thing I've been doing. So I've been crazy with like getting this new series Bible going and figuring out timelines of which books from which series take place at the same time of other books from other series. Um, there's a lot to do. And I also, as I said, have started the new urban fantasy series, the Shadowblade series, and I love writing it. And I plan on writing Cayenne's adventures for quite a while. I foresee the series going relatively long. I like her. She's a half demon, and I've never written a half demon main character before. And it's interesting and it's fun, and I love her friends, and I'm just looking forward to people getting more immersed in this world too. So those are my plans for the next few years in terms of the books I will be writing. The Shadowblade series and the Shadow Towns world, which includes all my paranormal women's fiction. In other news, kitties are doing well. You can see, I think that may be LA, it may be Kiersey. That's LA back there. And Bridget had a limp for a while. So we took her to the vet. He said there was nothing drastically wrong, probably a bit of arthritis, and she probably just strained her hip. So we had to keep our lovely little old lady in a large dog cage for a week. And she had her kitty box and she had her kitty bed and she got attention and she was sitting right near the fireplace so she could keep warm. And my assistant Andrea made the joke of the other cats see it as like a retirement villa where you've got everything at your, beck and call. But Bridget sees it as a prison, and she did. But she's out now, and she's still limping a little bit. I suspect that may stick around, but she's okay. She's doing fine. She's 16. And where did the years go? Apple is 10 this year. He's going on 11. Yeah, he was born in 2014. We got him 2015, when he was 5 months old. So he's still little boy Apple to us. He's still the little iCat. Personal news. I have been taking Mounjaro for my type 2 diabetes. It is knocking that out. I mean, it's amazing how quickly this medication works. While I am not focused on taking it for weight loss, I am starting to see some of that. And honestly, I'm glad because my joints need less weight on them. I'm not going to get into about the morality of being overweight, how some people see you as a lazy, slothful person, because some people do. And I tell you, I'm one of the least lazy people I know. But for my own comfort zone, I do need to drop some weight. And this is weird how this works. It knocks out my appetite. I don't have much of an appetite. I take my shots on Sunday. I just took my eighth shot today. Okay, I checked. Today was my sixth shot. Feels like I've been on it longer than that, but I haven't. And I've had very few side effects from it, unlike Ozempic, which made me sick as a dog halfway through the second week. I am sticking on the minimum dose at this point. My doctor prefers I do that. I am feeling better in a lot of ways. My inflammation seems to be going down. My blood sugar has definitely dropped a long ways, and it's much better now. I mean, I am relieved to see it in a range that doesn't make me go, I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel clear-headed on this. And apparently a subset of people have an elevated mood aspect to this, and it has elevated my mood. So that actually I have been very grateful for, because it's so easy for me to spiral at this point into depression with everything that's going on. And it's been hard to control my depression. And this seems to be helping to keep me from spiraling too much. Now, I do get a little more tired than usual, but all in all, it's been a good drug for me. And so I thought about doing updates on it, you know, the Mounjaro diaries or something like that. I'm not sure yet whether I want to. If I do, I should get onto it because now I'm 6 weeks in. But I kind of wanted to wait and see if I was going to develop any side effects, if the medication was going to work for me. And now that I know it is, I can make that decision. I don't know. Would you be interested in hearing my updates on how it's affecting me? Basically, I've just been working. I've been drinking my coffee. I've been getting my protein because that's the most important thing when you're on something like Mounjaro or a semaglutide. You need to prevent lean muscle mass from, you need to prevent loss of lean muscle mass. And the way to do that is by eating enough protein. Anyway, so those are the updates. As far as my writing videos, I think I will still be making some. People are still commenting on the ones I have made. I just need to figure out the direction. I mean, it's all about intuitive writing for me, but I need to figure out what advice writers need most. So let me know if you're interested, and if you'd be interested in hearing more about the Mounjaro and just life in general. Haunted Eclipse, the first Married at First Bite book, and Vampire's Vixen the second are up for pre-order. The Shadow Dreaming, the third Shadow Blade book, is up for pre-order. And Feathered Web, the 13th Moon Shadow Bay book, is up for pre-order. You'll find the links down in the description box. Over on Patreon, I have a new tier, and it gives you access to read the books as I am writing them. I put the chapters up when I finish. It is the top tier, but you can join for free over there too. I'm not hanging out on Facebook much, so I'm trying to get people to hang out on my Patreon because there I know people are going to see the updates. In the group, so few people see them, and the organic reach sucks. And I don't like what's going on at Facebook right now. So, yeah, if you want to join for free over on Patreon, follow the link below, sign up, and you'll be able to at least get updates there, plus a few posts per month that I make for all my readers, free and paid. And of course, the paid tiers are there if you want to help support me that way. I hope you have a good week. I hope you feel well. I hope life is going well for you. And if it isn't, I wish for a turnaround so that, we're all in this together. Let's band together, do the best we can to help people we know, help people we love, and make this world a bit better place. I will talk to you next time. Bye.